Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to jump. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to jump. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to jump. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics.
What up? What it do? Surprise, motherfuckers. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? See some of the peoples that stayed around killing shit, killing that dirty energy wave. Really good job, everybody who smashed that, who used your intel channels, who didn't fall asleep, who didn't caught up in fucking retarded conversations and trigger out. Damn, my voice is wrecked. I think I'm hungover. Anyways, that's probably why I'm back. I actually got wrecked. How y'all doing? Shout out to everybody flinging some bits, Exploit, Donato, Kenichi, Jans, Seaweed, damn, Martin and Seeker. Appreciate you guys. What do we start with? A record turnout right now? 45? See, I tell you it's like a core 40 to support the place. It is something like that. But it is value encircled by ignorance, right? So you guys get the theme today. We are on that, that nonstop journey, that 1% better every day. Nothing's ever over. It's just always getting better. So, I created that little symbol and I was like, kind of fits with that, infinity type theme, that ad infinitum. So I liked it. So thought with a surprise show that guy kind of fit. I can definitely see that we've had some major fall off though since we've been off the air for a little bit. So much salt, so much salt. But so much salt gives way to so much precision. Have y'all motherfuckers looked at what has been coming out of this place? Like, I had to go back a ways to even capture this. Man. So I decided to put out the intel that was in like many channels because, you know, there's inner sanctums of what I do, and there's a lot of stuff like I make intel per the skill set of the person that can get it, right? Because not everybody can use everything. Many years ago, I made the mistake. How many years ago is this? 2016 or something? No, it's probably before that. So once you get used to your own shit too much, you kind of think like, well, everybody sees it the way I see it, don't you? Right? That's one of the things that happens when you sit in a little bubble of your own. You're pretty sure everybody can see and use stuff the way you would. I put cheat sheets out publicly once to like anybody that wanted to have them, and boy, that didn't work out. So I train people to be able to use this stuff, and market prep, which is for acolytes, and everybody actually in the community, is like general prep that doesn't get into too granular context and leaves some things up to you to figure out, like to look at and decide what you want to do. And then there's really granular shit like nebulins use. The fact is that most people don't have like an organized strategy to like look at information, look at the news, look at sentiments, make a plan about what they intend to do, and then like develop the plan and enact it. That's like that very basic thing doesn't really exist for most people. Most people have a very gambler mindset, and everything's like FOMO, and so it's surprising, but like once you do this for a while, you kind of think like, well, it's really obvious what you should be doing with this, but as long as you stay in a little bubble of your too narrow banded folks, you realize that most people like need some guidance in figuring out how to actually develop just a basic plan and enact that. Anyways, that being said, try to put information that isn't too mentally like overloading. And with the show offline, I tried to give you some more granular information in the intel channels. So like, in here, this is on the 1st of September. And in this, we're simultaneously calling the correction to the tech and the rotation of energy. And as you guys have seen with like, this was already back here, right? Oil prices hitting 10-month highs. Already oil setting, another 10-month high just yesterday. And then many of you played the energy rotation that we also put out there. Where else did I put that? I put stuff everywhere. Do you realize how insane this actually is? This is actually the very turn of oil on June 30th. So this run has been going. Energy has been the winner since June 30th. Literally this moment, this day. And this basket is 100% green. I don't think people realize like the interconnectivity between shows and intel, so I wanted to try and make it a little more clear. But I know most people just end up hating me for doing it, but I still did it. What I put on top of this, I had all kinds of stuff in here. Pretty good. Did I put something else in here? Oh, that's friend tech junk. No, I had some other stuff here that was pretty cool. Dude, check this out. How crazy is this? Guys ever seen something like that? That might be the coolest fucking natural phenomenon I've ever seen in my life. A fucking like cyclone of lightning. That's definitely cool. Lightning tornado. That's some shit you think you see in Florida. Right, did that, and that was on top of that guy. Sorry, I'm a little fucking definitely hungover. I'm pretty slow. This sheet's cool. Peep this. So this was public. I don't think people fully value some of the stuff from back in the days just because it's a big resolution. A lot of people don't pay attention to anything that's outside of like, fucking 10-second charts. But this is a forecast posted 4 years ago, back in November 2019 on Caterpillar, which we have on the show all the time with Deere. But this guy specifically like is slated to actually, put his hardware on the moon and Mars and help develop like literally off-world. That's an amazing thing. Like Boeing and Caterpillar have a place like in space cash for at least the US's end of it. And in that technology, in that arc into that fucking period, we would see advanced robotics develop around this. The infrastructure for space would require a couple of things to come into being. AI, advanced robotics, space tourism, right, which we just saw the beginnings of with like Virgin and Blue Origin, space hotels, which are coming, 3D printing in orbit, which has actually begun, like I think like last year, the year before. And today you have like a space race, right? You have space tourism, AI boom, 3D printing. But even funnier than that, this is the aftermath of the chart in December 28th, 2022. Inside your channels and on the show, we took this chart, which is the aftermath chart, and then we made it another sheet. Where'd it go? What the hell did I just do? What? How did I lose track of that? Am I crazy? What the hell just happened? I'm so confused. I have no idea what the fuck just happened there. Where'd the other half of that go? I don't even know how to use Twitter right now, so I don't know what the fuck happened. You'll follow the story loosely. I don't know. Where did it go? I'm gonna get there. What the actual fuck? Hey, guys, am I crazy? Wasn't I just staring at this thing? I have no idea how I lost that entire post. Oh, there it is. Dude, that was weird. So yeah, we took the aftermath chart and made it a new cheat sheet and a new bull flag, derp. You know, people come see this shit like, all this guy does is bull flags. So they work. Anyways, new bull flag on this guy, oldie but a goodie. Probably worth watching as industrials continue to outperform tech. And this is in December. This is leading before we catch a rotation for energy if we're here in the summer. But coming into the year, there was an industrial push, namely in guys like in like PAVE. And this guy pushed out like massive, you know. And so now, following on this, the whole space race from 4 years ago, you have 5 fucking countries like fighting over the moon right now, you know. And I think the Middle East is heading to Mars. So there's a whole bunch of like crazy shit happening here over 4 years, you know. College lifetime, the world has changed quite drastically. So yeah, this is a pretty cool cheat sheet that continued into a cheat sheet. It was a public one that went into the Intel channel. So if you guys pay attention, I know a few people hit some monstrous stuff on Caterpillar. So. Really dope. And that motherfucker is part of a very much larger story. Ooh, peep this out. This is Botanical Bob. This is Clonus Classic project inside, done by Idia Simon. He used AI with his clone to create an entire story around this character. It's pretty fucking dope. You guys should definitely peep this out. How did I lose track of what I know I posted? This thing takes shit out of sequence. I swear to God, it's so confusing. Oh, it put me in fucking so far down the Twitter wall. What the fuck? Oh yeah, so I know I'm kind of going out of series, but this is the other sheet that I put out on December 28th, along with Caterpillar, that many people forgot about, and it was a squiggle we did on the show together for OIH. Look how perfect this fucking squiggle was. I gave the path and rotation into the summer of 2023, and then into that rotation, right in June, I gave you the basket for the rotation out of the bull flag. So that's how interconnected it was. If you pay attention across time, this rotation, holding predicted bull flag from stream energy, still relatively strong, even though oil itself has yet to rotate. Oil had to rotate June 30th. So this is December 28th. We got the rotation, the projection, got it on the exact day, and then threw you a basket that in this, if you remember, I gave you like 2 baskets of like of oil stocks, and then I filtered that list for you anyway on June 30th and gave you the exact best ones out of it that all hit. Do you know how fucking cool that is when you actually put it together? I don't think people keep track long enough to realize it happened, so I gotta keep telling you. And then if people get mad because I tell them, but they don't remember it even happened, so I can't get to say we did anything. It's kind of like a trap, you know? It's like, well, stuff happened, and we got stuff, and it was all provided to you guys, right? That's the whole point of this. There's no Intel channels. There are no market TV stations run by precision technical analysts. There are no fucking such things as precision technical analysts. They're all fucking retards. So, you know, it's a one-of-a-kind station. I know it's not the most popular because of the way we go about things, but, you know, it's a point of value to see a shit, so we'd hope people would catch on. Anyhow, I don't know. Was that the last thing I put out there? I put a bunch of stuff out there. Oh yeah, this is pretty cool. This is the day prep I gave you guys. Check that out. I gave you guys a crazy sheet with like all of the possible paths that you could deal with. We call this quantum path analysis. Either correct the structure into the box and then look for a structure out of the box, right? We didn't actually think it would actually, do a gap the way it did, but it gives you an idea of the structures you're looking for when you're making plans. So this kind of helps you know what you're dealing with. Price ultimately created an exit and then back into the box, which is one possible path that you get, like a fake break, correct your structure, but that sets up for a higher floor, which then can rotate to be an uptrend, which it then did. It gapped into that, created its higher floor, created a blue flag structure out of the box, and then pumped, and then we obviously have possible resistance. So it's pretty cool. And then you can see here plans made by Double Booby to smash the NASDAQ in the rotation of that flag. See how cool that is? So you can make your plan. You know what you're waiting for, right? He ultimately found it also. He found the bull flag for the blue path. And this is part of trying to make a very visually simple thing out of something that most people think is rather complex to even forecast such a thing. But ultimately, if you have an idea of what to expect, you're looking for a system outside of the box range, like free and clear system, then you guys know that from the show. You get your version of it here, and a cool rotation. It took a lot of session to wait for this. This is a very patient move. I got this too, but I was out by here and followed it too close and got myself kicked out. So this is a phenomenal play to get one and done and get the rotation out. Very good play. If you guys have never read this story, you should. It's kind of too much for me to go through today, but this is the history of Bitcoin in a way you probably don't really know. That was OIH things. Hey, oldie but a goodie. If you know, you know. Check this out. If you guys have been paying attention over time, from energy fields, we talked about, Buffett and Gates, the tag team duo, right? So now it's kind of getting a little more obvious, like that Gates and Buffett aren't accidentally sitting on farmland and fucking oil at the same time, like balls deep. Those two motherfuckers are in front of a fucking tide they can see clearly coming from the other side of the world that the rest of the world hasn't caught up with yet. And at the end of the day, right, in a world where the buying power of the currency is under attack, escaping into any fucking thing with utility is fucking what you want to do, right? Even stagflation, when purchasing power of a currency is going off a cliff, even in countries where there's runaway inflation, being in something that has utility like a property or a business or something else is the hedge, right? The currency is the fucking last place you want to be. These guys have vacated a significant amount of currency to put themselves in front of the actual production of food and fucking the energy you see that BRICS is attempting to strangle all of NATO with. So Buffett is willing to basically plow 22% ownership into Oxy and throw it into his fucking, his estate fund after he's dead and leave it into perpetuity. So he's betting on something forever. You ever wonder why so many people are aware of the things that Buffett plows and never touches it? He's not exactly known to be like a shitty trader, is he? But people sit there and watch Buffett plow like a third of his shit into Apple and Cove and go, gee willikers, Bob, you're a late old grandpa. Apple, fucking bazillion trillion. And you can plow fucking oil and people like, gee, grandpa, your clean energy is going to change the world. How many people, do you really want to bet against him? He is literally actually the best trader ever. And people still look at that man and fucking just put their fucking finger in their nose. It's the funniest shit that you'll ever see, how the fuck? He's definitely got the proof to be like, don't counter trade me, motherfucker. Can you imagine shorting everything Buffett fucking played? Do you know how dumb you'd have to be? But yeah, so talk about hidden in plain sight things, right? Warren Buffett plowed this. Gee, who's that? I don't know how that guy gets tuned out. It's actually one of the most ridiculous things in trading. But yeah, you should probably pay attention to Buffett. He knows some stuff. So if you haven't watched Energy Fields, it might be time to go back and rewatch that guy. That guy is a good one. Talks about this very energy situation you're watching, right? And it's developing a lot more and more and more. So thinking about that too, I went and dug up this guy. So now that it's getting much more obvious, think about how hidden in plain sight this is when I posted this. Speaking of the 95th anniversary of the founding of the Chinese Communist Party last month, this is 2016. Xi Jinping delivered what Western analysts are calling an incendiary speech, in which he called for a military union with Russia that would render NATO powerless and put an end to the imperialist desires of the West. As you watch this crazy attack on the dollar take shape, and all these countries jump into BRICS, which was not the official name here, but when they began the One Belt, One Road initiative, which was to begin stitching countries together in a cooperative that was ultimately to cut the United States out of the fucking global economy and remove them as a fucking a threat to everybody else. Nobody really dreamed that this he meant exactly word for what he meant. But in the West, people lack integrity. And so most people don't think I mean what I say either. This is not something you say to be like, oh, my bad, let's work a trade deal out. No, this was like, fuck you. I'm going to put my foot in your fucking asses for what the fuck you've been doing permanently. And it literally told you here, this is a legacy play. These two guys installed themselves as like forever emperors in both their respective regimes. That's a war stance. They've been in a war stance for fucking 20 years, which is actually the funny part. I told you guys about this, back in 2002, their first war games happened, which was the first time between countries they did a war game. And I saw that sitting in a restaurant with my buddy Rich, that was one of the guys who trained me when I went to that fund. And I literally looked up at TV, I'm like, oh, that's not a good thing. And he's like, that's definitely for us. I mean, it's 100% for us. It's like, that's coming. And that's where it began 21 years ago, right? It was the first time I saw that. And I was like, this is a long-term strategy. They have been moving towards this the whole time, and they're going to die with their legacies being, we overthrew this fucking abomination in the world, which was the United States-led NATO. The harsh statements come at a time when both Beijing and Moscow find themselves vulnerable to an increasingly hawkish U.S. foreign policy that has resulted in a series of massive war games on both fronts. So yeah, this is an amazing thread. If you go into it, this one has all kinds of stuff. This is some of the provocative shit that was coming out of here. I don't know if these links will work anymore. Some of them are ancient, right? Russia claims it's building a nuclear space bomber. Like fucking, some of the stuff they were saying back here was fucking crazy. But if you didn't know World War III was coming, you weren't paying attention. Like they were fucking definitely fucking throwing blows at each other. England threatens to put a Trident program back into action, which violates the Nuclear Proliferation Treaty. And the Trident, like the British versions of fucking, is like a water pistol compared to the American one, but it's nuclear weapons are nuclear weapons. They'll fucking wipe you out. It's a multi-tipped warhead in space. Basically, it fires like multiple warheads out that can hit a couple cities at once. So it's like wipe out the whole fucking eastern seaboard or western seaboard of fucking Russia. The U.S. version can fire 8 of them at once. I think the U.K. one's 3 or 4 at once. Either way, it's going to devastate your country if they shoot one of them at you. And it's obviously fucking provocative, So they are doing this and expect Russia to sit there and basically moving next to your fucking borders, fucking redeveloping weapons, and Russia's supposed to sit there fucking provoking a war, So it's kind of like obvious that would happen. And wars are actually part of the plan. It's not something that actually doesn't make sense. War is literally on the charts, So that's why I kind of put that one back out there. You guys should check it out, right? World War III literally is on the charts, right? War is our fucking our giant mass shootings on a global scale that allows new growth, right? It's the pruning of the fucking the largest tree. So check out some of the stuff I posted there. Uh-oh, what did I do? What did I touch, George? What did I touch? Oh, and then lastly, I gotta throw these out once in a while because nobody knows these damn things exist. There's like about 17 people that see these. But, believe it or not, the precision levels can actually get a lot crazier than what you see in this show. I produce these, each week or when it's necessary, not like every day. I don't put stuff out just for the fuck of it. But I put stuff out when the timing, means something, like always, for everybody. And this is for the Netherlands, the people I train. I'm supposed to be doing interviews, kind of looking to see the energies be where they need to be to interview folks who send me emails but vanish from the community and expect me to fucking call you to interview you when you literally check the fuck out. That's exactly the opposite of what you do when you send me an email to do that shit. So, that's not been very cool. But at any rate, CL should be on your radar. This is August 29th. We're in rotation from June 30th. Remember that. Should be on your radar along with energy stocks. A lot of them have pretty solid structures on swing resolution. So just another leg of energy should happen if we get this pump from this flag on, oil. And that was the timing of that sheet. So we nailed it. And in this box range here, this consolidation, we dropped another sheet to time the exit of this guy. right? Dropped him and then gave a timing for that motherfucker to come out of there. CL not taking eyes off oil. Think he's got ease of movement over 87.76 to the penny, motherfucker. To the penny, motherfucker. You know, I don't think people appreciate what it takes to put out something with that level of precision all the fucking time. You know, most analysts would fucking shove this up your ass. If Michael Burry ever did something that precise one fucking time, he would shove it right up your fucking pussy. You'd never fucking hear the end of this shit. We do this all the time and people hate our guts for it. It's really, really interesting thing, you know. But don't take that for granted. It ain't something everybody can spit out all the fucking time. It took a long time to be able to make it look like it was fucking that easy. So, anyhows, I think I caught you guys up on some of the things I do on the wall. Ooh, peep some of your peoples, right? So some people who don't hate our guts and actually pay attention to the intel and actually came here to make money, didn't come here to fucking get some kumbaya shit or fucking talk about some nonsense with somebody in the office at the water cooler, that actually have a plan to do something, right? There's people who trade to trade and there's people who trade to make an actual living out of it. Meet some of the folks that do that. It's, don't know why most people don't do this, but like, yeah. So if I give you, you know, oil stocks, make a plan around fucking oil stocks, you chipmunk. That's it. That's how the station and you were supposed to work together. And you're not supposed to take things, I don't tell you buy this, buy that, but you give you enough information to be like, oh, well, reasonable. If anything like that happens, I got a plan for it. That's kind of it, right? This is Bear Bull. Yeah, motherfuckers go to a lot of trouble to cut off like all sides of a chart. Could you just like post the whole chart like normal? You sometimes barely tell what the fuck you're playing. Like, why would we cut this off? Like, for fuck's sake. Like, let me see what the fuck you're playing exactly. Steve Donato, what is this? Schlumberger. Wow, a lot of you played Schlumberger. Really good shit. Good rotation, right? That looks dope. Watch party things. I threw out a show, OG Status. I saw some of you watch that. It's pretty much like a refresher on concepts, you know, from church or even from Nebula. Like, we cover a broad swath of stuff in there, like, you know, contexting, moving averages, you know, wave structure, wave logic, rotations, and stuff like that. So I think you know it's worth a rewatch for anybody. So I put that one out specifically because, you know, the drift is real and stuff. So I released this guy here, right? And he's got some good concepts and things like that. We go over some good basics on this chart, looking at long-term Ethereum, BTC, and such. So I would go check it out if you missed it. Look at this monstrosity from J Squid. What is this? A couple of plays on oil and natural gas from yesterday's energy. Thank you, Sensei. You motherfuckers call me some weird shit, bro. I am in a weird mood. Where is my shit? I didn't have my monitor up. Will you wake up? Where's my guns? Have we broken 100 people yet? Where's my weed go? Oh my god, don't do this. Oh sweet, look at that. I lost my hemp wick yesterday. There it is. Small victories. Money. I totally lost a whole roll of hemp wick. Let's see. So, sorry, I've been caught up on everything in here. Let's see what else is in here. The surprise shows. Gotta be paying attention. Saw a post today, passed by, first Turkish person going to the moon, to not sure what the context was. However, I hope Erdogan does not go any fucking where near the fucking space program after watching his fucking economics program. I can only imagine, you know, the Indians already crashed into the moon. Erdogan and those niggas are gonna clean miss that bitch, bro. Oh my god. I can only imagine. Good luck, motherfucker. Can we look at WM? Possibly. What up, St. Thomas? Welcome back. Thank you, sir. Catching up. What does life look like for high-income earners in the U.S. down the line? Will a doctor, lawyer still be able to build a home, buy a new car, etc.? Will that not be enough? I mean, you know, if you're pushing us towards like a third world situation, like let's go get that one chart back. Let me find it real quick. I'll answer that question in a second. I'll finish doing my little fucking indulgent bullshit, and then I'll fucking answer your question. Damn, I am like retarded today. Oh yeah, this is another killer market prep that followed up on like that whole the pattern of the blue pattern exit for boy am I retarded. There's the blue wave. That's the one you saw double booby use. And then the following day, right, you had a corrector structure like this that's turned into a bull flag, which is basically a large version of the same blue flag on the outside. And then we gave you a rotation trigger from the same box range we had here for the pattern to break out of where your triggers were. So if you pay attention as the price evolves, this will help you learn how to evolve with price too, right? Not get rigidly stuck to like whatever the fuck you drew up, just like price is giving me new information. How do I incorporate that with what I had before? And you know, price is an unfolding story. So when you keep track of it like this, you get to like really intimately know where he's gonna do stuff, you know? So this guy, like I said, the 373.04 was the box exit on that dude, and that's what we gave you guys. Trollex, right? You had some trolls pop up, and we keep track of those trolls. And a couple Saturdays ago, and we dump bar Trollex's level on the VIX. That's always key to pay attention to anywhere like a bunch of dumb fuckers that we've marked on a chart pop up ever again in history. And yes, Trollex, for whatever insignificant part of the human fucking species those people represent in a project that's literally fucking on its ass, are actually dumb enough and powerful enough to be a major level in world markets. Pretty cool. Anyways, with the VIX notes, we have a chance to bounce off the top of the blue box range that has been the center of our trading plan for over the past few sessions as we open on the trigger or near to 373.04. Now, that's a pretty granular read in market prep. I don't really do stuff like that. That's kind of like nebulous sheet, like precision stuff. But this is like, you know, obviously not everybody day trades the NASDAQ. But when you look at this, right, we want to know where the market that carries correlated assets we traded for trading tech is if we want to enact a plan, because we don't want to buy into them thing while the market itself is not healthy. So when you have him above a trigger and he's bullish, he makes a lot of stocks that are strong in his index a better idea than when he's not. So that's one of the important reasons to have this as like your base. You know, we'll watch the S&P sometimes. Right now we're watching tech because there's a, you know, pull and push going on between energy and tech. And having access to precision information like that is supposed to be able to support better choices for you when you look for things that are either going to be green on the day or not with tech, if tech does it. So this is cool for guys who day trade the NAS, but also I think, you know, for people who want to make plans and have the development to make plans around something like that. Now, I do understand that not everybody knows what exactly do I do with this, but you have to ask some questions, because if you don't, it's not going to improve for you. So that's the whole point of Telegram, and we've now reopened the Discord. So, you know, when you look at this too, you should be looking at the people who put down their war stories or scorecards for the day and show you what their play was, and then kind of match it. Look at, like, you know, look at tech for the day, and if you're intersessional, and if you're like going across sessions, like, you know, how did you do this, and when did you take it, and where was it NAS when you took it, and, you know, start to do a little due diligence and homework, and it will start to connect those dots. But yeah, so that's the kind of shit coming out of here. And like, this is not like once in a while. This is the last couple of weeks and, you know, months of oil and tech, all when you needed, with exactly the precision at the exact penny levels of everything. Whether it be oil's pegged to the penny at 76 cents or this guy at 04, we have refined this to a level that looks fake to people on the outside. But the reality is that's just their fucking, you know, inner bitch being able to accept as anybody better than them at something they didn't know could ever be this precise. And it can be this precise. And the fact that you don't have analysts who put stuff out like this on TV means you don't have analysts on TV. You have salespeople. And I think it's despicable. The reality is this is what an analyst should be able to do in whatever field. If you have a guy that's like your mechanic that's a really good one, he should be able to tell you the right answer to what the fuck is wrong with your car if he actually understands it. And I don't see why that should be expected to be any different anywhere. You don't want a surgeon who operates on the wrong leg, right? That's crazy. So anyways, that is the point. I think I said some more goated plays from your crew. Awesome stuff from the exploit. Let's see what you hit here. What you hit here. See, all right. I don't know what this is. What is that? I can't even see that. Is there a symbol in that thing? You're killing me, Bob. Let's leave the symbol in it so I know how good it was. But awesome stuff. Brands, Slick Rick, classic. This is a great one from the old days. Seeker, Monster, Play was in a play. Play Japan. A lot of people forgot Japan. We told you pay attention with Japan. He'd probably come back. He used the strength overall in the world, and he rotated up with the strength before Tech even did it. And a few guys paid attention to that and also caught Japan. So really good shit. Some of you guys who pay attention to dirty energy, and it's funny that some of you called it dirty energy, but so you know that like nuclear energy is actually regarded as clean energy, right? Dirty energy, when I say it, I'm referring to oil. But the reality is, like, they consider, even though you put toxic waste underneath the fucking Rocky Mountains of the United States, it's going to be there for a million years. They consider it like clean energy. But it's pretty funny. So awesome play on this. We had uranium on watch because we had CCJ also in the Intel channels. So if you guys pay attention to that, it's been a beast mode play also. So good shit, everybody that used the goodies that are provided. I had one more thing to pull out in here that I know got forgotten in the historical records. I did this yesterday, couldn't find it. Damn it. Killing me, Bob. There it is. How many people remember this guy too? I forgot about him. This was guys posted in March, before oil rotated, nuclear rotated. And this was guy I was here, tracked him for a trigger I gave you guys on 2641 and watch him for a structure on 32 and impossible wave out. Hold on, let me open that. Oops, got you with that one. Sorry about that. It's constant. I know. You want to just kill me. Them headsets will get you, buddy. Those headsets will get you. But there's CCJ. That's your sheep there. Not bad, eh? Pretty big monster. Guys, 24. It's 40. Almost 100% when he gets up there. So, pretty beast mode. So, you guys had the nuclear play. You had that with the right timing. Gave you Eura on the show. Told you, right? Watch him. He was basing on top of this big old box, which is a box just like the box we have in Q's. And so you got a rotation with him, and you got the rotation with CCJ. You got dirty energy. You got industrials when you needed it. What else do you need, guys? Why so much salt? Why so much salt? You know, if anybody else hit some shit like this, it'd be on the front page of fucking goddamn every financial magazine out there. Meanwhile, we got people fucking talking about bullshit in fucking Telegram. Make it make sense, guys. All right, so that's enough catch up for like a couple weeks off the air, huh? So let's give you something for today. I bet there's an ass load of war stories to catch up on. I'm not going to be able to pull that off today, but I'll look at what I see right now at the top. Winterblock, what did you do? Habits for the win. 12-month history, U.S. account graph. What's this? Attaches an account graph with a key habit change notated in regards to journaling and commitment to habitual change. Commitment to habitual change. That's today's theme, right? As I began to track workouts more closely and with more accountability, I saw not only gains increase with goals in the gym, but other areas of life. Planning and the account graph is synced as seen above. Thanks to Cash for all you do, man. Everything you've taught us. Thanks to all the ecos striving forward, war stories, knowledge shared by all is truly life-changing. All right, let's get a good look at this. Let's see. Very cool graph style. May 8th, 2023 began recording gym sessions, committing to habits. Dang. That is fucking like, that is literally on a graph, a change in a habit. And you can see actually, you can see the bull flag going to this. It's actually pretty cool. Hold on, wait for it. Damn it. Turn on the pen, stupid. And that's how it works, right? Fundamental change at the bottom of the flag, and with sentiment, it's darkest before dawn. That's literally fucking a hell of a fucking rotation in the dead bottom of his own bull flag. And let me see. Let's get you in here. Where was support, sir? Where was the support? Look, he was on a 2B of his own bullshit. Come on, this is great. Say it's not. He's got ranges and junk. Let's see. What else can I do with this? We're a TA and stuff here. This is starting to look really good, man. I think I like this chart. Where is the, we gotta get some blues in there for sure. Can't fucking skip that. Looks pretty good. And then he's got his little, you know, exit shockwave right here. And look at that guy. Turn to a dotted line. Starting to look fucking really good. I know this pattern. It's a double booby fulcrum with a side of fractals. Hold on. That needs to be thicker. Nope, a little thicker than that. See? This ain't half bad. Let's look at where this guy projected from. Nice. Look at that structure, baby. Free and clear shockwave. See it? Damn it. Boink. And another one, a little smaller one. Long-term uptrend situation. All right, I'm done. But still, that was fun. Yeah, it's pretty healthy. What do you think? It's a work of art. Good shit. I like that one. That's a Neb 4 student. Congrats. Good stuff, man. Good to see it. Forex Factory. Oh, yeah, I should be telling you guys this shit. Oh, the week's over. Sorry. You better read that shit. It was in the fucking Discord. Wow, I've missed a lot of stuff. All right, I'll have to catch up. Holy crap. You can see this is when you guys are posting war stories. Now I'm not around. Book warning. Are you serious? Son of a bitch. Wait. Oh, wait. No, I read this one. This book warning has been taken care of. I did do that one. All right. For next time. That was pretty cool, huh? Didn't miss that sound. My bad. Erdogan will probably fly into Venus. Like Spider-Bat said, you want to base your company trades on overall index structures. What if a stock looks good, but the overall index is going the other way? Well, and then you're really fighting the tide, right? Because most assets share some degree of correlation with broader markets and risk assets. When you're seeking risk across the spectrum of possible risk assets. You kind of don't want to fight the tide, right? It's like sailing a boat upstream. When capital is flowing out of risk assets that share valuations, it's going to make it exceedingly hard for one asset to be a runaway freight train unless he's just severely mispriced. Cherry picking that guy is a little more difficult. When you want to put the odds in your favor, playing with the tide, not just in resolutions of waves, but also with the breadth of risk in the market, improves your chances of, having more money show up to fucking, save you from your mistakes. So it's not that you can't find a guy who's a runaway freight train. You find a guy who announces a cancer drug, he'll go nuclear, regardless if the market's going off a cliff. But that's exceedingly more difficult thing to find, and that's just an example. But yeah, you always want to play strength and play with the trend, play with the tide, and in more ways than one. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. Got numbers in session today at 10 o'clock. Appreciate it. All right. What am I doing now? Macro things, right? What I didn't want to go to 9:30, anything like that. It's 9:08, so let me do. Where the heck is anything? So that's Nomics Master. Let's go here. So let's see where stuff has evolved to since we've had a little time off the air. Let's see if stuff looks, has moved far enough to be interesting again. All right, what's going on with the old S&P? Man, the drawing charts just fucking struggle. So we're gapping down a little bit pre-market right now. Let's see, stocks pre-market. Is this the correct updated pre-market? what's going on free market. Amazon's down, Adobe's down a lot. Don't know if he did earnings or anything. Don't know what that's about. Some stuff's down here, some industrial things. So spotty day. Doesn't look like any discernible read from that. So we have this flag rotation, which we're also tracking, using the Qs. This is your sheet. So basically, we've got some updates from the prep channel. I'm gonna leave them here. So we just kept on evolving the sheet since the show was offline for a little bit. And, I think the last show we did was up here, where we had this correction and we gave you all the updates you need to play this. So now that we've got this rotation, we've got our blue path that is actually shown up and actually rotated. Right, we had kind of an angle in here, we deleted him. We look at this level you see right here is the base of this system, right? And we want to see us make it through this volume gap that's over here. This is like our breakaway gap. So this has a lot of volume and is a meaningful fucking level because of the fucking freight train, off a cliff that we got afterwards. Also keep in mind, right, your ton of symbols to no fucking symbols, pretty funny. So right here now, what's your chance for gapping down if tech is to keep any strength? And remember, like, tech can rise while energy rises, and you can have both of them do it, just one faster than the other. That's what's really been happening too, is that people that have kept a very steady focus, like on tech. But when you look at this, right, you look at like from June, like I said, June 30th, you look here, right, tech is effectively sideways, right? We can see that. Right, we're still in the same place we were June 30th. And while people are zoomed in and see this pump and correction and see this pump, they fail to realize tech hasn't gone anywhere while energy has. That's why we said to watch things like XLE, XLK, because if you're on the wrong side of this, that's what's going to happen, right? So from here, it's really been a runaway freight train in energy, and tech's oscillations have kind of fooled people that are looking too close that like tech's about to leave them in the dust. What's leaving them in the dust is this motherfucker, right? Shit like fucking ExxonMobil that we had on the show that we said you should keep your eyes on. This guy has been a fucking freight train and no one's looking at it. Everyone's waiting on NVIDIA to go again. And they're just not ready yet, right? So, for those Tesla's his own thing, goddammit, fucking Elon. But like for the other part of it, like Apple, these guys don't really look remotely bullish just yet. Apple actually is an interesting place post his iPhone 15 that I think is worth keeping an eye on. And we said last time when we were on stream to watch this, and he rotated out pretty nice, and we're back in here again. And we know that when he releases any new hardware, generally he has a fucking dip, and then with a rotation from that, we always keep track of. So this is the drop, from him producing another event. He didn't drop from that drop; he dropped into his event. So we definitely want to track this and see if he rotates, especially off a place that we had used once as a really good trigger before. Will you fucking go faster, Bob? Wow, with the F. So just to show you what that is, right? This is a really good area right here where he gapped through and he tested and dumped off of, and we pumped when we finally broke it, and we bounced one good time. So this is a good area, either as a swing level for either heading down or heading back out. So right now we've got a little gap up pre-market on Apple, closing on the trigger and opening at the top of the range. So I think keep him on watch, right? So goes Apple, so goes the market type of things. All right, so that's that guy. Look at this energy just for the sake of it. Energy is bullish as fuck. If you guys remember, we had this. Oh, geez. It's a much bigger chart than I thought. Right? That was the thing. We said, watch this guy. And he rotated the angle. And now he's sitting on what we had as a trigger out of the range right here at the top of the box. So, probably worth paying attention to guys like that. And, sub industries within him that look really good. That's OIH. And if that continues, he's got a long ways to migrate to even test this angle. And that would be a huge bull wave inside of energy across quite a while if it does do it at this scale. Let's see. Derp, like retarded. It's just like brain froze. I just pulled a Mitch McConnell. That's probably not funny. I'm going to hell, but still, it's funny. So just energy dudes, they look good all over the place. And then VIX things. What do we do on the VIX? VIX things, volatility pressing back into the dirt. That does allow us to see some risk on activity, so it does warrant keeping some eyes on tech. And we're through the 1339, which is our very key level, which is the base of the bull flag that put us into COVID. So back through here, an amazing volatility collapse that I'm sure is catching people fucking flat-footed that are betting on a volatility spike. We were tracking this angle coming down. He's now made a new low, so you adjust the angle out. That's our bull flag for a volatility pump again. Key levels for the rotation will come up if it does it, 1339, and of course Trolex, right? The downfall of civilization. What an appropriately named level for those shitbag fuckers. Anyways, so awesome structure we've got here. Definitely pay attention to it. Rotation on him, is always danger. DXY things been rather strong nonstop, and that's part of the fucking headwind on risk assets. Like, strong dollar is, a strong U.S. dollar is a denomination to your risk asset, right? When we know that when numbers get bigger in the denominator, they make fucking the overall number smaller. So a strong dollar isn't really a good thing for your home risk assets. That's why you see weak currencies. Oftentimes you see the risk assets readjust to offset the currency itself lost in value. When they're gaining value, it does the opposite. So this has been part of the problem of why we haven't really gotten the kind of oomph that we would like to see with the VIX falling. That being said, things like the Euro USD, we're pulling this rotation. He hit our angle here. We talked about him coming all the way down here. He's now failed the angle, so we continue to track this thing as he falls, and as the dollar, keeps on gaining strength. The dollar, in terms of a mixed currency of baskets, and DXY is gaining strength. But when you look at things like the inflation that we see in assets around us, right, there's places the dollar is losing strength. So a lot of people can misread that the DXY being strong means that the dollar is not being attacked properly by BRICS. But the inflation and rising cost of living standards for all of us tells us that it is working in ways that people never fully envisioned. And this is our TNX graph that we actually had on Twitter. This is a good one to actually look back at historically, talking about the guys about lawyers and doctors affording their lives and such. And what this does, right, they're basically pressing our living standards. And so food and our home expenses are consuming larger and larger pieces of our disposable income. And that's what happens in third world countries, right? They spend all of their money staying alive. They can't buy like big screen TVs or nice things. The consumer has basically got to fucking spend every dime on food and energy and can barely afford good food. As our food is like skyrocketing, right? Some of the nice things that we could buy, we can no longer put on our menu. And that obviously would hurt fucking retailers and fucking, anybody who produces some of those goods and cause a ripple into the economy, which is what they're attempting to do. They're attempting to sabotage the economy by jacking up the overall country's cost of credit, which they're having to fucking raise rates to try and slow down the inflationary effects that are coming from this knock-on effect BRICS is doing. This bull flag in commodities is what they are sitting on. They're raw materials. They're controlling fertilizer, controlling fucking food, controlling price of raw materials for us while jacking up our cost of credit. And by slowing the economy down, by trying to putting a ripple, by not letting things restart, our stimulus is basically like pouring fucking nitrous into an engine that's not going anywhere. It's going to catch fire. So we're basically running into a stagflationary type of situation. No growth with rising asset prices across the fucking board. So this is that chart we gave you back in April, and this is the rotation that's beginning, and this is the energy wave, right? This is likely the bigger bull in the house if this keeps going, and no one really believes it yet. Remember, bull flags are sentiment damage, and this sentiment damage on this bull flag has been going down since January 2008, the housing crisis. No one fully fucking values this rotation, right? You remember how sentiment is. When a bull flag rotates, nobody believes it. Even all the way back to the fucking all-time highs of a fucking crash cycle, it would be there before people even realize what the fuck is happening. This 10-year treasury is fucking in a bull flag since the fucking time I was born. Trust me, nobody's fucking paying attention to this and realizes the scope this could be. They're looking for interest rates to stop any time now. If BRICS gets what they want, this motherfucker arcs anything like this, and we're going to be fucking literally in the 1970s again. So this is like the goal. Remove the fucking living standards through the interconnected asset matrix that the world actually is in and transfer them to them, right? We have basically used the U.S. dollar to sabotage economies through a U.S. dollar hedge money and cripple countries through sanctions and whatever unfair trade deals we needed to basically extract equity out of their countries and bring it to us. Our living standards are on the back of transferring it from them and putting people in the third world and putting people in fucking South America into fucking like abject poverty. We have stolen by fucking like in manipulation and diplomacy, fucking manipulated countries into fucking creating an artificial bump to the American living standard. And they're attempting through the assets we're connected by to take it back. That's the summary. So hopefully that makes it make sense. Where am I at for time? 9:18. Wow, don't want to go to 9:30. Good job, Cass. Good job. I'm on, what was I on? I did the VIX, I did the Dixie. I need to do crypto. Crypto things since we last spoke. in this area of possible rotation towards this lower angle. Like I said, right now, people wouldn't even believe it that stocks or crypto or something's not going. I was kind of watching this place and really not watching energy. And I mean, when you even look at energy to something like this, people would never believe it. But when you look from June, the real reality is that the strongest thing on the planet is actually energy, even stronger than crypto. And that's probably alarming to a lot of people who even makes that comparison, But for the time being, while there is like fucking a headwind against risk assets in a strong US dollar, and also in a cross market, intermarkets where energy is actually the real strength, it just probably just needs more time to cook. Do I think it's got to fall to the angle? Maybe not, maybe not. But I think if you just pay attention to them, right, you've got a pretty good level in the sand here. And you have it in the USDT.D that I put into your channels quite a while ago, that this projection plays out, it's big danger. And this actually was drawn here back in August, and he did fill this out and then tested our very most dangerous last level on this thing, thrifty nigga Enoch. This little nigga right here tipped me $1. This cheap motherfucker. So if this gets blown out, right, situation critical, and it will complete the rotation for USD reflective of the DXY strength. The USDT.D index will actually rotate this bull flag through its full exit trigger, and that would probably be the liquidation of a lot of motherfuckers, and this BTC fucking barring down there. For right now, we have a state of execution as long as that level holds. If we're going to go bullish on this thing, we're looking for this guy to fail, this red trigger, a non-beta. Through there is where you get your first possibility that it can structure out to head down, because this is a significant trigger as well. So for right now, kind of all hands on deck paying attention, right? And then obviously that would reflect on ETH not pulling off a rotation from this box, which is the best chance he's got. This is the most volume he's got until he falls to 1423. So if USDT.E blows out, we're going here. And this would be the next best possible place for a fucking test and rotation of this angle. So it's here or here. And, I think it's just be a patient thing. Okay, so I got everything? I think so. In currency world too. Don't take your ads out this motherfucking yen. This thing's crazy, right? So I think that's everything I need to catch, right? A little rusty. Been a minute. Forgive me. Did you guys get all that? And you say like 1970s, does that mean higher interest rates, like 20%? Just higher interest rates. I'm not going to call the number. Just they're pressing it. And if you saw the size of that bull flag, it can be fucking quite crazy, right? You see U.S. bonds back in double digits again, like, back in the 80s. So it is 9:21, niggas. I was trying not to be here until the very fucking opening. So good luck today. Hope you guys had a good week playing energy and using the intel and, getting to talk amongst yourselves and do replays. For those of you that are active in Discord, working on it, in the various sub channels, good stuff, putting in some efforts. For the rest of you that are kind of sitting there with your thumb in your ass, waiting to see if I'll say good morning. Nope, fuck you, pay me. Get the fuck off your ass and do shit. Be about it. 1% better every day, motherfucker. This is Continuum. Until next time, peace out.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly.